Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to show you how to play Dragon Realm by Gamewright. It's ages 10 and up, 2 to 4 players, and takes about 30 minutes. Let me show you how to play. The goal of Dragon Realm is to collect the most coins, which you accomplish by exploring different locations. Like in original Dragonwood, you collect Explorer cards and have 3 different types of dice rolls you can do with them in order to capture spots at these different locations. You can do a sneak, which is numbers in a row, a search, which is the same number, or a storm, which is the same color. Game setup. You are given a certain amount of each type of card. There's 1s, 2s, 3s, and dragon locations. To deal out a game, you shuffle them according to kind, then deal out dragon location green at the bottom, then go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. For a 4-player game, you'd put out an additional 3, and then flip the top 3 cards over, and those will be the first 3 locations you will be going for. Next, each player is dealt 3 enhancement cards that they get to choose between to start off the game. You may choose either 2 1 values or 1 2 value. Sometimes you are dealt 2 2s and a 1 or just all 1s. Just pick one of the 2s if this happens to you and discard the others. You do not show these cards to your opponents unless you use them. Place them face down. Next, each player draws 5 Explorer cards. The deck is placed here and 2 cards are placed face up next to it. You decide who's going to go first, and on each turn you have 2 choices to make. You may either rest and draw 2 cards. So this person chooses to rest. They draw this card, a new one is placed there, and then they decide to draw one from the deck. Or you can explore and use your cards to try to claim one of the spaces on these cards. You are allowed to have a maximum of 9 cards in your hand. If you have more than that, you discard the additional cards until you're back down to 9. If you choose to explore rather than to rest, you use the cards you already have. And here I would choose these 3 and do a storm roll on this location. And as you can see here, I need to get a 6. I'm choosing to play 3 cards, so I get 3 dice for this. Also, I have chosen this spot because it has a special gold ring around it, which means instead of getting to place 1 meeple if I'm successful with my attack, I get to place 2 on this location. So it is very, very good to get this. I look at my enhancement card. I do not have any special powers that can be used here, but this is for the game end. If I was this player, I would have this power. So if I rolled my 3 dice, I'm playing 3 cards, I get 3 dice. And if I rolled a 5, I could choose to re-roll any one of these die that I wished, which would be this one. And I would get to re-roll it once and see if I got something better. So here I get a 6. It's the same number or higher as pictured here. So I would discard these cards, place 2 meeples there, and get to draw a new card to have in my hand. Replace it here, and my turn is over. If my roll had not been successful, I would not get to place my meeples there. I would keep my cards without having drawn a new one, and I would get to place my poor little adventurer in Adventurers Academy so we could learn and be better at fighting for next time. It is key. This card is 2-sided, and so for your first time playing, this is a more advanced side to play on where you can use your meeples to buy more enhancement cards over the course of the game. Don't do that for your first time through. It is easier to play on this side for your first time, because then on your next time rolling, if you don't roll high enough, you can use this as a +1 for any dice roll that you need. You can continue to place additional meeples in here if you continue to have bad dice rolls. And if at the end of the game you have any left over in here, up to 3 can count as dragon stones. Dragon stones are also on the bottom of these cards, which you can win. And there's varying amounts on each card. And just whoever has collected the most dragon stones, either through cards or through meeples at the end of the game, they get a 5 coin bonus. If there is a tie for dragon stones, each player gets 3 coins. Claiming location cards. When all the spots on a card are filled in, the card is claimed, money is paid out, and the card goes away. So if we were playing and this card was claimed entirely by orange, they would get both first and second prize for this. So first prize is in orange, second prize is in yellow. They happen to be the same for this. So they would get a total of 6 coins, and so 6 coins would go to them, and they would collect this card, and a new card would be placed out. Their meeples would go back to them, and that would be the end of their turn. If someone places more meeples than the other person on a card, it is all filled in, so blue would win this one, and they would get 7 coins. Orange would get 4. And the card is removed, the meeples are returned, and they get the card, and a new card is placed out. Going back, in case there is a tie for first, and each player has an equal amount of meeples on a card, you then add up the total of the card, so in this case it would be 6, divide it by 2, and give each player that many coins. Remove the card, give the meeples back, and place out a new card. This card does not go to either player. Nobody gets these dragon stones. It is discarded off to the side, and those dragon stones do not count for anyone. If there is a card like this with 5 spots on it, there still can be a tie if it's blue's turn, and he has 1 guy on here, and orange has 3. If you play one of these spots where you can have double meeples played, if he got a search roll and won it for this, he would still get to place 2 meeples on here. As you can see, each player has 3 meeples placed on this card. Add up the total between first and second. So in this case, it's 11. You round down to an even number, 10. Each player is given 5 coins. They get their meeples back. This card is discarded. Neither person gets the card, and the dragon stones at the bottom, and a new card is placed out. Sometimes there is a tie for second place, which can happen even in a 2-player game. If you have orange has 3 here, blue has 1, and then a goblin is placed. I will show you how goblins get placed on cards. In this case, first place gets 7 coins, and will be given the card at the end with the dragon stones, and second place divides in half the value on this side, which if you need to, you round down. So blue would get 2 coins, and goblin is not handed any coins. He's just stealing coins without getting his own money stack. So at this point, this person gets their meeples back, they get the card, this goes back, a new card comes out. So how do you get goblins, and how are they placed? Besides the standard explorer cards in your deck, there are 2 specialty cards, which are rock slides and goblins. If either of these are turned up, you play them immediately and do what they say. So a rock slide, all players would pass, this one says 1 adventure card to the right. Each player takes 1 card and passes it to the right. If somebody doesn't have any more cards, you get to draw a card from the top of the deck if you are owed a card. If you are dealt either of these cards at the beginning of the game, or if they're turned up out here, you just shuffle them back into the deck and place out another card. Here is a goblin. They always say if it's left, right, or middle, and that is where you place a goblin immediately as soon as you see it. So that is how you would have placed a goblin on this card. Let's skip ahead to the end of the game. A lot of things have happened. The dragon location is out, and once this card is filled, the game is over. So it's this person's turn. They choose to rest. They draw a card, and a goblin comes up for the left. A key thing about every dragon location is goblins can never be placed on them for every single one. This one also does not allow any enhancement cards, so these would not work for it. So the goblin gets placed on the leftmost spot, which is here. And then it's discarded, and he gets to draw another 2 cards. His turn is over. It is my turn, the orange's turn. I flip over my cards that I want to use. I have 4 cards that I want to use for a sneak attack. I need an 8 on 4 dice because I'm playing 4 cards. So I roll, and oh no, I only got a 6, but I can use some of my adventurers that have been in the Adventurers Academy. So I use 2 of these guys to make up the extra 2 points. One is placed on here, the other one goes back into my hand, and the game is over. I get to collect this card. I will get 12 coins, and my opponent got second, so they get 6 coins. These go back to us. I get the card. For this one, the goblin has won the card, so he would get the 5 coins. Orange, I have gotten 3, so I get the 3 coins, and when the goblin wins the card, you just put it off to the side. He doesn't actually have an ongoing stack. He just steals it away and it goes away. And then finally, blue, we're scoring this as if the card is completed. Blue got first and second for this card because he's the only person with anything on it. So he gets 14 coins for this. 14. And he gets the card. Scoring for the end, I have an enhancement card that gives me an additional 5 coins at end of game. It has been used. I put it off to the side. And now we see how many dragon stones we each have. I have 5 here, plus this one equals 6, and my opponent had 5. So I had more dragon stones. I get an additional 5 coins into my hand. And now we just count up the coins to see who the winner is. I have 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and my opponent has 20, 30. So they won this time. Game over. So that's how to play Dragon Realm. We were so excited about this follow-up to Dragonwood. It preserves a lot of the elements that made the original so fun while adapting into more strategic and advanced gameplay. So check it out. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.